Hi everyone, Mark Ido here with your MassHShockey.com weekly recap. This week's recap is being brought to us by CN Hockey, home of the Mass Attack. Be sure to check out cnhockey.com for all their summer camps as well as their Mass Attack schedule. Before we get into this week's divisional recaps, I want to let you know about a new weekly contest that we're running on the website. These contests can be found next to the video. Underneath you'll find a link that presents this week's contest. The contest is being brought to you by CN Hockey, who has donated 2 tickets to a future Bruins game for the winners. All you have to do is go online, click on the link. This week what we're asking you to do is to submit the winning score of the upcoming BC High Needham game. What you need to do is put the scores in there. All the folks that have the correct score will go into a random drawing, and the random drawing will be selected right here next Friday on during your weekly recap. So, all right, let's get started over in the men's rankings this week. We're going to look at men's Division 3A, where Groton Dunstable Crusaders are at 5-0-0, clinging on to the top spot. The Holyoke Purple Knights are coming in at number 2. You know, they're making their push this week towards the top spot. Our Division 3A featured game of the week is coming up with a big showdown between Fitchburg at 6-0-0 and Littleton at 4-0-4. That game is going to take place on Monday, January 17th, so be sure to catch the Fitchburg-Littleton matchup coming up on Monday. We have some changes over in men's Division 3. The Westwood Wolverines at 6-1-1 are now at the top spot, with Hudson right behind them in the number 2 hole at 7-0-0. Last year's 2010 champions, the Longmeadow Lancers, who had come into the week as the number 1 seed, are now in number 3. The big showdown in Division 3 this week is we have the number 2 Hudson playing number 3 Longmeadow. This is going to take place on Saturday. Very big opportunity for the Hudson Hawks to knock off last year's state champions and possibly grab hold of the number 1 ranking next week. Over in men's Division 2, we once again find the Peabody Tanners at the top at 5-0-1. Really no change there. Newburyport coming in this week at 6-1-0 and holding the number 2 seed, while the Wilmington Wildcats are grabbing hold of the number 3 slot. Our featured Division 2 game of the week coming up is going to be between number 6 Bishop Fenwick and their league rival Marion, which they'll square off on Wednesday the 19th. So a big game there for Bishop Fenwick. The battle for the top over in men's Division 1 rages on. This week we find the top 3 teams being Severian, Catholic Memorial, and Malden Catholic. A lot of jockeying going on in these top 3 positions. The number 4 team again is Weymouth. They continue their winning ways, and they've maintained the number 4 spot now for 2 consecutive weeks. We'll see if they can move up in the rankings next week. Many big games coming up this weekend and throughout next week in men's Division 1. One of the bigger contests is going to be between Needham and BC High, which again is our game of the week for your weekly contest. So again, go online and predict the outcome of that game to win yourself some Bruins tickets. Certainly no bigger game than number 6 Hingham versus number 3 Malden Catholic. A rematch of last year's finals up at Songus, where Hingham was able to knock off Malden Catholic in overtime. I've got to believe that Malden Catholic has had this game circled on their schedule for a while. The game's going to take place on Saturday the 15th at 5 p.m. over at Pilgrim Arena in Hingham. This will be a tough ticket, small arena, so if you can't get into the game, catch the updates on our Facebook page and certainly come to the site for the final results. No changes on top of the Women's Division 1. We still have Woolward at the top at 6-1-0 and St. Mary's right behind them at 5-0-2. Winthrop Lynn is this week's number 3 team, moving up. They're at 6-1-0 and making some noise. Our featured game of the week for Women's Division 1 will be number 6 Bill Ricca, also 6-1-0. up against number 5 Acton Boxborough at 4-1-1. That game's going to take place on Wednesday the 19th, so you'll have number 5 and number 6 facing off there. Over in Women's Division 2, we've got the Fonpon Ducks again coming in at the top. The Women's Division 2 rankings haven't shuffled too much. Fonpon's now 6-0-2. We do have a battle brewing between Gardner St. Bernard's and 6-1-0 Duxbury. The women Dragons come in at number 3 and are closing the gap and headed towards the top of those standings. Our game of the week this week in Division 2 pits last year's Division 1 state champion St. Mary's against last year's Division 2 state champions and our top-ranked Division 2 team in Fonpon. This should be a great game. It's going to take place on Thursday, January 20th. It'll be interesting to see how the D2 state champion from last year stacks up against this year's number 1 ranked team in the Division 1 with St. Mary's. Well, that's going to be it for this week's recap. Remember to send your team stats in along with your rosters. Those can be sent in to info@masshighschoolhockey.com. Again, don't forget to enter our weekly contest to win 2 Bruins tickets. Again, being brought to you by CN Hockey. Thanks to Chris Nagy and his staff over there at CN Hockey and Mass Attack donating those tickets for this week's contest. We'll post our game of the week on Monday night, and I'll be back with you guys next Friday with the recap. Make sure you get out to your rinks this weekend. A lot of great hockey going on around the state. Support your local hockey teams, and we'll see you guys next Friday.